Hi, my name is Rocio, and I only have one hand. I am a wife, a mom, and so much more. So today I want to talk about my experience as a one-handed young lady in university. So to start, I don't think that my experience was much different than most other people's at an American university, despite the differences that I may have physically. So, to go back a little bit, I was semi-shy growing up, and I grew up in a small town, so I had no reason to really introduce myself to a lot of new people. And I knew that that was something that I was going to have to change and that I was going to have to learn how to do. I was also very sheltered in a way. I wasn't allowed to do things outside of church and school, so my whole circle was there at church and school, and I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to meet new people. So going into university, it was kind of nerve-wracking, but for those of you who haven't gone to an American university, you usually get there about a few days to a week, 2 weeks to get set up in your dorm if you decide to live on the dorm or in the dorms. And so I got there, and that first week they have a bunch of the clubs at the university. They'll go out and talk to the new freshmen and try to get them plugged into the university, into their clubs. And so I went around the university and found all these people from these clubs, and I got a bunch of flyers and a bunch of information telling me about where these clubs were going to be, what times. And so the first day I was there, I actually went to one of the religious affiliated clubs on campus. There had been a teacher at my school who had told me about this club, and because I knew her, there was already some sort of connection between me and some of the people from the club because they knew her, obviously. So I got plugged in there, and I really met a ton of my friends that for the first 2 years of my college experience that I had then. And so I was really fortunate that I just threw myself in there my first day even, because it gets kind of harder as you go, I think, to make friends. Sure, there's always the opportunity to throw yourself into clubs throughout the 4 years, but it definitely gets harder as people your age already know each other, and it's easier for a freshman to just jump into the friend groups, I think. So there was that, and people, I was very surprised that a lot of people didn't really ask me about my disability, because I was so used to people just staring and asking. But I think that once you do get to the environment of a university environment, usually you are then surrounded by your peers who typically tend to be a little bit more open-minded about things. And so it was really nice to not just be constantly stared at. And then also, I guess, the fact that a lot of them were also freshmen. So, they were just trying to fit in and, trying to find their spot too. So yeah, it was really, I just kind of threw myself into this group. And then there was also another religious affiliated group that I kind of came and went to that group. But I didn't really make a whole ton of friends there. I made a few good friends. And I think most of my friends my freshman and sophomore year were upperclassmen. They were juniors and seniors. So when my junior year hit, I don't feel like I had that many friends. Another aspect of it after the entering, the starting point of college, once I turned 21, which in the United States is where you can legally drink, I did go to bars, but it was really awkward for me because my friends that I did have didn't drink, and so I would go by myself. I also didn't make a lot of friends in my classroom, like in the classrooms themselves, because I like I said, I was really shy, and so I threw myself hard into the groups that I joined. But then in the classroom, all my shyness was like just took over, and I didn't really talk to people. I had a hard time getting to meet people because I was always trying to hide myself, and like I was trying to hide my arm, and it was just really awkward for me when people noticed my arm. And the thing is that I'm not the kind of person who hides my arm. So I was wearing short sleeve shirts and tank tops, and you know, like there's no way that you're not gonna see my arm. So yeah, it was really awkward. So I didn't make a lot of friends in my classes either. But other than that, I think most of my university experience is very similar to what other people experienced during their time at college or university or wherever. Doing our spirit song, or you know, other things like associated with the university, like having school spirit, that was kind of awkward too because that required both hands, and so yeah, that was really awkward. I would sometimes do it with just my one hand. Other times I would try to do it, well, like as much as I could with both hands, and just like, and other times, I think more often, my freshman year I really got into it, and I would, you know, be more carefree and like be like, yeah, school spirit. As for now, yeah, I think that's about the only like differences that I really saw in my as far as my university experience goes. Just the fact that I had to like that I felt like I had to hide myself. But yeah, there's not like a whole lot of difference. And I think that's the point of me making these videos, is to show that, you know, like I'm not that different than you. Physically, yeah, I'm different, but we physically all are different. So yeah, that was my pretty tame / pretty lame college experience. So yeah, bye, see you next time.